Good evening, everyone. On the behalf of EduBridge IAS, I welcome you all. I'm Nitish Sharma. With me, I have Ravikesh Tripathi sir. He's an IAS officer, 2017 batch, and I have Vishal sir. He's an expert in history and also an expert in geography. So today we are here for mock 2 test discussion. So we'll be beginning with the discussion by the questions by Ravikesh sir. So he'll be discussing some questions of the mock test. So I'll invite Ravikesh sir to begin with the discussion and then we'll continue. Sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Now, first of all, I'll just start with some few very basic points that I saw that. Now, see, I know that all of you are preparing really hard and you people are putting a lot of effort to score good marks. But let me tell you one thing, that learning the books or the data is one thing, and just producing it in the exam is a totally different thing. So you have to practice both of it so that you can master the art of solving question in a proper way. So the entire effort should be that how you can solve the question paper with a more of logical mindset rather than just solving it with your knowledge. हमने बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चन ऐसे सेटअप किए हैं जहां पे आप थोड़ा सा भी अगर दिमाग लगाएंगे तो या फिर थोड़ा सा लॉजिकल सोचने की कोशिश करेंगे प्रेशर में ना आकर, तो believe me, you will be able to solve it. Let's start with the first question. The question that I am choosing will be bit jumbled up in your test series. जो आपने दिया है उनमें से इनका नंबर कुछ और होगा, तो थोड़ा सा आपको वो देखना पड़ेगा. So I'm starting with this question related to environment. Which one of the following statement is true regarding the conservation of energy at household level? Now, I think might be possible that in your question paper, it must be showing instead of degree, it must be showing 337 to 400 and the freezer section temperature to be 50. It might be possible. फिर से मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ पहला ऑप्शन. The refrigerator should be maintained at 37 to 40 degree Fahrenheit and freezer section at 5 degree Fahrenheit and should have automatic moisture control. This statement is true. It might be possible that I think in the test paper it was showing 400 and 50. Then statement becomes wrong because 400 Fahrenheit is around 200 degrees Celsius. So then statement becomes wrong. We should keep the fridge as empty as possible and it should be kept that its outside surface is not exposed to direct sunlight. We should not keep the fridge as empty, rather it should be as filled as. Third is uncovered liquid should not be put in the refrigerator as it gives extra workload to the compressor. True. We should use microwaves as they consume 50% less energy than conventional ovens, and that is also a very basic and true fact. Use a cooking pan that is slightly smaller. No, it should not be smaller. Rather, it should be rather a bit bigger than your cooking plate of the coil or the burner. क्यों? क्योंकि आपकी उसकी ज़्यादा efficiency होगी. तो यहाँ हमारा पहला आपका तीसरा और चौथा statement, I'm really sorry, the answer is A, 2, 3, 4, because the first, second and third statement, first, third and fourth statement is 2, 3 and 4 statement are true. And I'm really sorry, I think it should be 1, 3 and 4. Yeah, the B only is right. 1, 3 and 4, the B only is right, not the second one. So, and it might be possible that in your paper, if it was showing 400, then this question, the answer would be wrong. So we'll change it accordingly. Let's go to the second question. Which one of the following statement is not true regarding Imhoff tank? Now, first statement is, it is septic tank with improved technology for wastewater treatment. That is true. It may be used for the clarification of sewage by simple settling and sedimentation along with aerobic digestion of the extracted sludge. Now, I think if you remember, most of the wastewater treatment tanks that we talk about, we generally talk about anaerobic digestion, not aerobic digestion. So statement 2 is wrong. The Imhoff tank is the effect of a 3-story septic tank and retains a septic tank simplicity while eliminating many of its drawbacks. No, it's a 2-story septic tank. Now, it might be possible that some of you might have got confused with the 3 structure of it. Like if you look into the image of an Imhoff tank, it looks like something like this, where the first part is the sedimentation part. This section will be the sedimentation section. The second section or the second story will be the sludge digestion. So it has 3 sections, but only 2-story structure. The first structure is for the sedimentation The second structure is for the sludge digestion. The third section, not the story, is the outlet or the partial outlet for the sludge. So I have very clearly explained in the explanation also we'll put that. So you can, so here the sense that second and third statement are wrong, answer would be which of the following is not true. So it's the 2 and 3 is not true. Which one of the below is a gaseous biofuel? So methane and the carbon dioxide is the gaseous biofuel. Ethanol and methanol are liquid biofuel. So we have, so answer will be 1 and 4. I've given the example that in the gaseous biofuel, you have synthetic natural gas, wood gas, methane, carbon dioxide. For liquid biofuel, we have ethanol, methanol, gasol, and biodiesel. Now the question number 4. Other than Jatopura Carcass, why is the Indian beech that is also considered a good option for the production of biodiesel in India? Now Indian beech grows naturally in most of the temperate region of India. Now we are saying that why it is a good option, and then we are talking about an area of temperate region in India जो कि बहुत थोड़ा रेयर है. अगर आप हिमालयन एरिया में जाएंगे तो थोड़ा सा आपको टेम्परेट रीजन मिलेगा. सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग वेरी क्लियरली दैट यहाँ पे जो ये बात करी गई है टेम्परेट रीजन, दैट itself is trying to trick you. Rather it should be arid region. And rest two statement are true. That is the seed of the Indian beech are rich in lipid content of which is nearly half as oleic acid, and if not managed carefully it will be labeled as an invasive species. So यहाँ पहले स्टेटमेंट में आपको ध्यान देना था that it's not present in most of the temperate region, rather it is present in the arid region of India. अगर आपने इसको थोड़ा ध्यान से पढ़ा होता तो you could have got that India में इतना कोई arid region, temperate region है ही नहीं, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, और नहीं है तो फिर आपको उसके चलते तो हम इसको better नहीं बोलेंगे किसी और चीज़ के लिए. So you could have done logically and statement 1 could have been eliminated, 2 and 3 could have been chosen. So answer is B, 2 and 3. Now, which one of the correct statement about niche? All the 3 statements are correct. It's one of the very repetitive question asked by UPSC. Repeatedly, it has been asked, and one of the very important topic. The term niche means the sum of all the activity and relationship of species by which it uses the resources in its habitat for its survival and reproduction. A niche is unique. That is what the best part is for a species, while many species share the habitat. So habitat is not unique, but a niche is a unique thing. Now, why the two species does not have a same niche? Because 2 species in a habitat cannot have the same niche, because if 2 species occupy the same niche, then they will compete with one another until one is displaced. So simple शब्दों में कहें तो कहने का क्या मतलब है कि एक habitat में सिर्फ एक species can have a niche. Reason being that अगर 2 होंगे तो they will keep on competing among each other जब तक एक eliminate नहीं हो जाएगा. So that is why a niche is a unique for species. Now there are different kind of niche. It could be habitat niche, it could be food niche, it could be reproductive niche, it could be physical and chemical niche. You have to look into that. Okay. So but all the statement here are true. Statement 6 about ecological succession. A very simple trick that I've done is that I have just exchange the term that hydrac, where it's written it should be xerac, and where xerac it's written it should be hydrac. So succession that occurs on land is xerac, the succession that occurs on water body, hydrac. I think if you have used the logic of hydrac, hide, then only you could have done get to understand that water body it should be hydrac itself. So neither of them is true. Match the following. A very simple and very easy question. Amenalism. It's one species is inhibited while other species is unaffected. Second statement is commensalism. Here one species benefit while the other species is neither harmed nor inhibited. That is competition. Now you compete. So D is compete, where one specific C is predation. Predation is one species benefit while the other species is harm or inhibited, and D is competition, which adversely affects both the species. Now आप कहेंगे कि सर ये तो बहुत difficult type लग रहा है या फिर क्या मुश्किल है? आपको इतनी तो पता होनी ही चाहिए थी कि competition में क्या होता है. हम कहते हैं कि competition में it harms both the parties. And if you have seen the option, the D option, that is the competition, there is only one option which says that adversely affect both the species. So if you would have known the impact of competition only, you could have been able to answer the entire question rather than knowing anything about amensalism, commensalism or predation. अगर आपने थोड़ा सा ये लॉजिक लगाया होता तो आप ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेते. Nitrogen can be fixed, that is converted to ammonia nitrites or nitrate before it can be taken up by the plant. Nitrogen fixation on earth is accomplished by, all of them is true. Only thing what we have done is that we have just exchanged the term. So it's aerobic azotobacter and anaerobic clostridium. Once again, I'll highlight it. The first statement is not anaerobic, rather it's aerobic azotobacter and anaerobic clostridium. Leguminous plant, Anabaena, Spirulina, Nitrosomonas, and Nitrobacter, all of them is true. So only 1 and 2 was exchanged. So option will be C, because 1 and 2 terminology has been exchanged. Now, according to this Indian State Forest Report 2017, no, it's 2019, which one of the following statement is not true? Now, if I talk about which one of them is not true, the first statement, the report is based on the interpretation of list 3 sensor data of indigenous resource to satellite. It's true. Second statement. Now here, if you have done logically, mangrove cover in the country has increased by 4%. Now this report comes every 2 years. Now within a 2-year increase in mangrove by 4% generally looks very suspicious, believe me. And if you have gone just by this logic, that within 2 years a mangrove is increases by 4%, and which didn't make such a big news, I think this data cannot be trusted. If you have gone by this logic, your guess would have been totally right. B statement galat hai. It's not 4.10, it's 1.10. C statement is right. The top 5 states are Karnataka. In terms of forest cover is Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, J&K and Himachal Pradesh. And if you also talked about National Forest Inventory, yes, it created for the first time a National Forest Inventory. Now, which one of the following are Ramsar wetland site? All of them is there. So answer will be D. Why I asked it? Recently, 10 more wetland sites were being included into the Ramsar Convention. One in Maharashtra, that is the state's first. Then in some in Punjab and some in Uttar Pradesh. And this was the reason because of which we have added this question. That this recent inclusion of 10 Ramsar sites. Which one of the following statement is true regarding Shola grassland? Now, there are patches of stunted tropical montane forest found in the valleys amid rolling grassland in the higher mountain of region of South India. That's totally true. I think you must be knowing Shola grasslands are found in the Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. They are historically protected because it's a large timber value. Now, when you know that these are stunted tropical grassland. Now, grassland does not have a timber value, to be very frank. If you have just done, आप थोड़ा सा logic लगाते, तो grassland में बहुत ज़्यादा आप उसकी timber value पे base नहीं कर सकते. तो इस सवाल में थोड़ा सा logic यही था कि grassland no timber value. तो इसको हम कोई protect नहीं करते हैं, not because of its timber value. Statement 2 is wrong. Statement 1 is correct. Now, talking about grassland, it's found in Nilgiris, Annamalai, Munnar, Palani Hills, Meghmalai, Agastya Malai in the south, and the Malnad areas where it's found is Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, and basically found at around 2000 to 1600 meters. So just get to know that Sholas are one of the very favorites of UPSC for multiple times. Which on the following statement is true for Hope Spot? Statement 1 is about Hope Spot, that is for ocean, ecological unique area of the ocean, not the landmass, not the environment, rather ocean. So statement 1 is correct. What is this statement? This is the definition of hotspot. It is not the definition of Hope Spot. It was just given to confuse you. Now, talking about, according to IUCN, who gives the Hope Spot? It is given by IUCN. Which one of these are the Hope Spot in India? Andaman and Nicobar, as well as the Lakshadweep, are the 2 Hope Spot in India right now. Who gives it? Do remember it, IUCN. I would also suggest go and revise who gives the hotspot. Now, according to IUCN, Northern River Terrapin comes under, first of all, get to know it's a riverine turtle, native in Southeast Asia. It's critically endangered by IUCN. Now, it's one of the largest freshwater and blackwater turtle in India. It's in the past to the west part of the West Bengal and Odisha they are found. So, काफी न्यूज में रहता है. तो इसको जानिए कि नॉर्दर्न रिवर टेरापिन इज एन क्रिटिकली इंडेंजर्ड बाय IUCN. Now, St. Petersburg Declaration in 2010 is regarding why it's regarding Global Tiger Recovery Program. Option is C, Global Tiger Recovery Program. Why I have given this question? The reason being that in 2020 we have promised that we'll double the number of population of tiger. So the time has come recently, and that is why this declaration once again is becoming the buzz, that whether we'll be able to ensure doubling of the population of the tiger or not. So it's a global tiger recovery program. Which one of the following statement is true regarding the parties of UNFCCC? A very basic question about Annex 1, Annex 2 and non-Annex country. What we have done is very simple thing. We have exchanged the definition of Annex 1 countries and Annex 2 country. So what is Annex 1 country? Annex 1 country are industrialized country and economies transition, and Annex 2 countries are developed countries which pay for the cost of developing country. Non-Annex country definition is totally right. There is no changes required. So what is the answer? 3 only. Which one of the following below comes under the funding mechanism of UNFCCC? All of them are there. Special Climate Change Fund, Adaptation Fund, LDC Fund, Global Environment Facility Fund, Green Climate Fund. I will suggest once again, please go through in the detail of all of these 5 funds, because they are being repeatedly and multiple times being asked by UPSC. कई बार पूछा गया है, देखने की कोशिश करिए. Read plus, defined in Bali Action Plan 2007 COP13. What is the plus does not constitute? Now do remember, in this question we are not asking what is REED. Rather, we are asking what is the plus that is being added in the Bali Action Plans mean. The plus means all the 3 options of A, B, and C. That is, the plus means sustainable management for forest, conservation of forest carbon stocks, and enhancement of forest carbon stock. Then what is this D option? D option is nothing but REED itself. That is, RED is reducing net emission of greenhouse gases through enhanced forest management in developing country. That is RED. So why we have put up this question? Just to confuse you, because UPSC has asked some in previous question that what is this plus. So we have tried to ask you that what is this REED plus, where plus is defining the sustainable management of forest, conservation of forest stocks, and enhancement of carbon stock. So this will just the plus, and REED is the D option. So answer will be D, which does not constitute in the plus. Which one of the following statement is correct regarding domestic carbon market mechanism? Now, in Perform, Achieve and Trade is a flagship program of Bureau of Energy with nodal Ministry of Power. So it's not the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, rather it's Ministry of Power. Renewable Energy Certificate is under New and Renewable Energy. So once again, that has been exchanged. So PAT is under Ministry of Power and REC under New and Renewable Energy, MNRE. So answer will be D. Choose the correct statement regarding the treatment of oil spill. Oil zapping is a bioremediation technique to get rid of oil spill. True. Oil zapper is essentially a cocktail of 5 different bacteria strains. That is also true. Oil spill can also harm air quality. Yes, by release of hydrocarbon, it do harm the air quality. Olivorus is less efficient than oil zapper to degrade oily waste. No, it is more efficient. Why? Because it is having some more bacterial strain which are more efficient in terms of bioremediation and treatment of oil spills. So statement D is the correct, it should be not correct. In your answers, it was right. Here it's wrong. So it's not correct. It's a less efficient. So Olivorus is not less efficient, rather it's more efficient. Which of the following are the component of National Mission for Enhanced Energy and Efficiency? All of them are there. Perform, Achieve and Trade, Market Transformation for Energy Efficiency, Bachat Lamp Yojana, Super Efficiency Equipment Program, Energy Service Company, and Energy Efficiency Finance Platform. सारे के सारे आपका NMEEE के अंदर आते हैं. एक दो और हैं, मैं आपको सजेस्ट करूंगा, घर जाइए उसको अच्छे से देखिए. अकॉर्डिंग, घर जाइए क्या, आजकल तो आप लोग घर पर ही हैं, तो बेस्ट पार्ट है बस गूगल करिए और देख लीजिए. According to Economic Survey 2020, India has a huge potential to emerge as a hub for final assembly in product. refer as network product, category of industry classified as network product. Which one of them comes under the network product? All of them come under the network product, that is office machine and automatic data processing machine, electrical machinery, road vehicle, professional and scientific equipment, telecommunication and sound recording equipment. Now I know that few of you would have been not aware about network product. Soon we'll be coming up with our rest of the classes of economic survey, in which we'll detail regarding wild geese flying model, once again taken from economic survey. It's a pattern of development suggested by the Japanese economist. What does it say? It says three important aspects. Basically, it explains the catching up process of industrialization of latecomers. क्या कहता है? पहली बात कि product development करेंगे with a particular developing country and a single industry growing over time series curve. That is what we'll focus upon: import, production, and export. So second will be inter-industry aspect, and then an international aspect. So basically, it's a more of an export promotion model, where we'll be trying to focus on some of the industry and promote the developmental curve of a nation. We'll be once again dealing in a very detail into the economic survey lectures of ours, where I'll talk about that what this entire model is all about. सेफ फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ WCO इज रिलेटेड टू, वंस अगेन एक लॉजिकल क्वेश्चन है. अगर आपको WCO पता है तो आप आसानी से आंसर कर सकते हैं. व्हाट इज WCO? वर्ल्ड कस्टम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अगर कस्टम की बात हो रही है तो चाइल्ड के सेक्सुअल अब्यूज की बात नहीं होगी, वुमेन की सिक्योरिटी की बात नहीं होगी, और क्लीन और सस्टेनेबल एनवायरमेंट की बात नहीं होगी. हो भी सकती है, बट बेसिकली व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट वर्ल्ड कस्टम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, द आंसर शुड बी डिफॉल्ट ग्लोबल ट्रेड, एंड यू कुड हैव डन दैट logically. It's a safe framework of WCO, very much in use to ensure faster and better custom experience, for improving the ease of doing business. Now, which one of the following below statement is true regarding health score index? Now, sounds like a normal health, but it's not. It's talking about the non-banking financial institutions and others' health, that is non-bank lenders' health. It can be used to identify and monitor the financial and operational resilience of non-bank lenders depending upon their rollover risk. So this is a non-bank lender के health के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Now आप पूछेंगे सर कि ये B कौन सा definition है? आपको trick करने के लिए ये health index का definition है, not health score index. Now health score index is given in economic survey, and it talks about the definition which is given in statement 1. Health score of 100 indicate a risky situation. No, it indicate a very stable and a very good situation. Now here a term is being used is what is rollover risk. Now NBFC raised capital in terms of a short term, that is a commercial paper at market at lower cost, compared to that long term, and the risk, but they face the risk of rolling over this commercial paper debt at short frequency in few months, and this is known as rollover risk. मतलब क्या है? The frequent repricing by NBFC to the risk of facing higher financial costs, and the worst case credit rationing. So basically what we are doing is कि अगर बार बार situation change हो रही है, तो इसके चलते जो ये छोटे commercial paper होते हैं, इनकी risk rollover होते रहती है, and that is what you creates a problem in terms of for this non-bank lenders. Which one of the following below method is used for CACP? The D option, expenditure on various input, implied cost of family labor, implied cost of rent of land, and all other implied costs. So believe all, including all of the D, that all the points are taken into consideration to calculate the MSP by CACP. Utkarsh 2020 is related to roadmap of the central bank to improve the regulation and supervision of the bank. None of the others are talking about some other scheme. So you have to know about that. Utkarsh 2020 talks about the improving the regulation and supervision of the bank. Arranging the component of CPI in decreasing order, very basic question. We have, it's just based on fact. I have not given it purposefully so that you just Google it and get to know about that all, what are the factors, what are the weightage, and how you can arrange them in decreasing or increasing order. Match the following, very simple. BN Golder Committee talks about the developing of PPI for India. B, that is the Ramesh Chandra Committee, that is the Niti Aayog Committee. It has talked about the roadmap for switch from WPI to The BN Golder Committee has talked about PPI for India. The Ramesh Chand Committee has talked about roadmap for switching from WPI to PPI. C, that is the Urjit Patel Committee has talked about the recommendation of MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee. And D, that is the Mahendra Dev Verma Committee. They have talked about linking Manrega to CPI rural. So they are one of the very famous and very known committees, and they are being given in the option, that is A option will be there. Some of the recommendation will be shared with you soon. Different strategy adopted for base erosion and profit shifting, all of them are there. Transfer price pricing, shell company, round tripping, inflated invoices, free shopping, patent box, all methodologies are used for base erosion and profit sharing. Which state recently received 100% LPG cover? Himachal Pradesh. A factual question. Which one of the following statement is not true about Vivad Se Vishwas scheme? It is the statement B, where it's written that it does not provide immunity from prosecution, but rather it provides immunity even from prosecution. So statement B is the one which is not true. Save the Frog campaign. It's a state from the initiatives by the Goa. Why I have given it? Because on the tableau on 26th of January, this was being presented. So that is why it's very important in terms of question. 26 जनवरी की परेड में इसके बारे में गोवा ने अपना टैब्लू दिया था. Save the Frog campaign. Purvodaya scheme is related for steel, that is the enable swift capacity addition and improve overall competitiveness of steel producer. Sound करता है नॉर्थ ईस्ट से रिलेटेड कोई स्कीम होगा, स्टार्टअप से रिलेटेड कोई स्कीम होगा, बट ये स्टील इंडस्ट्री से रिलेटेड कोई स्कीम है. I have not given any similar scheme. Now why I have not given it? कि कभी कभी जब स्कीम की आप पूरी डिटेल याद ना कर पाए तो छोटा सा ट्रिक यूज करिए, ये जरूर याद करिए कि ओवरऑल वो किसके बारे में बात कर रहा है. अगर इतना भी आप याद कर लेंगे तो कई बार सवाल बन जाते हैं. That could be also a very good way so that it helps to solve the question. I think this is all from my side. I'll just hand over to Vishal sir and Nitish sir to continue from here. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Now, Vishal sir will continue. Vishal sir will continue with the rest of the questions.
Right. Thank you, Ravikesh sir and Nitish sir. And I'm going to ask Nitish sir to share the screen so that the questions are visible to you and I can simply discuss them. Right. Sir, आपका screen नहीं दिख रहा for some reason.
Just a second.
Right. Thank you, sir. तो देखो पहला क्वेश्चन क्या है? That which of the following deserts is incorrectly matched? Right. Options are given: Sonoran Desert in USA, Atacama Desert in Chile, Tanami Desert in Sudan, and Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan. अब पहले तो ये बताओ कि इसका सही आंसर क्या है. तो आंसर तो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है C. तो तानामी डेजर्ट इज इनकरेक्टली मैच्ड. तो तानामी डेजर्ट कौन बता सकता है कि सही आंसर क्या होगा इसका, कहाँ पे है? Can anybody point out तानामी डेजर्ट कहाँ है? In the comment section. ऑस्ट्रेलिया. वेरी गुड. ओके, सो ये देखो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में यहाँ पे आपको ये तानामी डेजर्ट दिख जाएगा. बाकी सोनोरन डेजर्ट इज इन द यूएस. काराकुम डेजर्ट मेक्स अप मोस्ट ऑफ तुर्कमेनिस्तान. सुदान में कौन सा डेजर्ट है? इट इज द ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ द सहारन डेजर्ट नोन एज द नूबियन डेजर्ट. एंड फाइनली एटाकामा डेजर्ट इज इन चिली. राइट. सो पहले का आंसर सी है. That is question number 68. Question is, as one moves from the poles towards the equator, which of the following would one observe? जैसे जैसे हम पोल से इक्वेटर की तरफ जाते हैं तो हमें क्या दिखाई देता है? पहला, a decrease in the length of latitudes. So is this correct? Yes, obviously this is correct, because you can see as you are moving from the poles towards the equator, the length of the latitudes keeps increasing distance between the longitudes. Again, this is also correct. as you move towards the equator from the poles, the distance between the longitudes keeps increasing and increasing insolation per unit area. Sorry, first option was decrease in length of latitudes. So पहला वाला गलत है. Second is correct, and third is increase in insolation per unit area. So this is also correct, as I told you that the Earth has a curved surface, and as you move from one portion of the Earth to the other, the sun is shining directly overhead at the equator, and slanting rays of the sun fall near the higher latitudes. Right. Next question. The aridity of deserts is due to which of the following factors? Options are these factors have been given: continentality, presence of cold ocean currents along the coast, position on leeward side of the mountains, and location on the horse latitudes. तो इसमें से चारों के चार options correct हैं. Continentality का effect क्या होता है? That because some places are situated in the interior of the continents, moisture-bearing winds cannot reach these places. They have already shed their moisture before reaching these places. इसकी वजह से कुछ deserts form होते हैं. Example, the Gobi Desert. Presence of cold ocean currents along the coast. Now, because of cold conditions, a high pressure situation is created near the surface of the earth, and high pressure जहाँ पे होता है वहाँ पे winds fall करती हैं, वहाँ पे winds descend करती हैं. So descending air currents वहाँ पे होते हैं, and cumulonimbus clouds cannot form because of convection. So these regions experience dryness. The Atacama Desert is the result of such a phenomena. Position on the leeward side of the mountains, that the tall mountains can act as orographic barriers, forcing the moisture-bearing winds to shed all their moisture before reaching the land, and because of this, some regions are dry. Example, the Patagonian highlands or the Patagonian deserts in South America. And location in the horse latitudes. So horse latitudes जो subtropical high belt में जो latitudes होती हैं उनको horse latitudes कहा जाता है. Again, these are high pressure belts, and because of this the air is descending over here, and इसलिए यहाँ पे कोई convectional currents की वजह से clouds नहीं form होते हैं, and there is no precipitation. Example, the Sahara Desert. Right. So all the options given over here are correct. Right. Next question. Which climatic region possesses the following characteristics? 1. Absence of distinct hot and cold weather seasons. 2. Hot and wet conditions throughout the year. And 3. Nutrient deficient soils. So ये characteristics होते हैं equatorial type of climate के. तो answer यहाँ पे C होगा. Why is there an absence of hot and cold weather seasons? Because this weather is usually uniform throughout the year. It never becomes too hot, nor does it become too cold, right? And hot and wet conditions prevail throughout the year. Soils nutrient deficient क्यों होती हैं? Because of continuous rainfall, जो इसके nutrients होते हैं वो leach away हो जाते हैं या फिर ये बह जाते हैं, right? Therefore, the soils are deficient in nutrients. Answer is C, equatorial type of climate, right? Now, next question, question 71. Which of the following regions is also referred to as the Molas Basin of India? तो Molas Basin समझ लो पहले होता क्या है? Molas Basin is the name of a geographical formation in Europe. अब यहाँ पे हुआ क्या था? When two continental plates come and converge into each other, when they crash into each other, there occurs a lot of faulting and folding, right? तो इसकी वजह से कुछ depressions create होते हैं, and with the passage of time, जो इसके बगल में adjacent fold mountains बन रहे होते हैं because of the effect of wind and water, ये erode होते हैं और यहाँ पे जो depression था इसको fill कर देते हैं. किस चीज से? Loose unconsolidated deposits. The same phenomena is also witnessed in the Mizoram region of India. Mizoram state में Molas Basin, Molas deposits देखने को हमें मिलते हैं. Therefore, it is known as the Molas Basin of India. Right. So answer is B, Mizoram. Next question. Which of the following forces affect the velocity and direction of wind? First, pressure gradient force. तो pressure gradient force क्या होता है? That wind is going to flow from the high pressure area to the लो प्रेशर एरिया। तो एक तरह से मान लीजिए एक स्लोप क्रिएट हो गया है हाई प्रेशर एरिया से लो प्रेशर एरिया तक, और विंड उस डायरेक्शन में फ्लो करेगा, राइट। फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स एक्ट करता है या नहीं? ऑब्वियसली, बिकॉज द विंड is offered resistance by the various features of the earth। जो लैंडस्केप होता है, अगर कोई और स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रेजेंट हैं, द ग्राउंड है और ट्रीज हैं, तो उसकी वजह से भी विंड को फ्रिक्शन का फोर्स देखने के लिए मिलता है, एक्सपीरियंस करता है, राइट। कोरियोलिस फोर्स, तो कोरियोलिस फोर्स आल्सो एक्ट्स ऑन द विंड। व्हाट इज दिस फोर्स? दिस फोर्स एक्ट्स इन अकॉर्डिंग विद द फेरेल्स लॉ। अब हमने पिछले अपनी वीडियो में डिस्कस किया था फेरेल्स लॉ के बारे में। व्हाट इज फेरेल्स लॉ? इट स्टेट्स दैट देयर इज एन अपैरेंट डिफ्लेक्शन इन द मूवमेंट ऑफ in any moving body on the surface of the earth because of its rotation on its axis. Now the earth rotates from the west to east on its axis, and अगर कोई body northern hemisphere में move कर रही है, it is going to be deflected towards its right, और अगर कोई body southern hemisphere में move कर रही है, it is going to be deflected towards its left, and the force which acts on it is known as the Coriolis force. इसके अलावा एक और फोर्स एक्ट करता है, that is the gravitational force, right? So these three forces do act on wind and affect its velocity and direction. So the correct answer is D, 1, 2 and 3, all 1, 2 and 3, right? अब next question देख लो क्या है. With reference to dawn and twilight, consider the following statements. It occurs when the sun is below the horizon. This statement is completely correct. तो dawn और twilight होता क्या है? Dawn is the time of the day when the sun has not risen yet, but it becomes visible because the sun's rays are refracted and bent because of the atmosphere, right? अच्छा, और twilight क्या होता है? It is that time after which the sun has set, but there is still light. Why? Because the sun's rays are being refracted and bent. So again, because of the refraction, the sun remains visible. ये आपको इस डायग्राम में दिख भी जाएगा that one is the actual position of the sun and the second is the apparent position of the sun. So you can see that the rays of the sun are being bent and it appears that the sun is still visible even though it has gone below the horizon or it has not come above the horizon, right? अच्छा, second statement क्या है? Their time duration decreases as one moves from the pole to the equator. So this is also true. ऐसा क्यों होता है? Because the sun's rays are more oblique in the higher latitudes. Because they are more oblique, they have to travel through a greater distance in the Earth's atmosphere. Or equator pe, they have to travel a shorter distance, right? So you can look at this figure. A is in the higher latitudes and B is right above the equator in the lower latitudes. So B में आप देख रहे हैं that the sun's rays have to travel in the Earth's atmosphere for a shorter distance. तो यहाँ पे refraction कम होगा. Therefore, the duration of dawn and twilight is going to be lesser, and the opposite is going to be true in the higher latitudes, right? अच्छा. Next question is regarding passes and the state in which they are situated. तो आपको इसमें करेक्ट आइडेंटिफाई करना है. पासेस दिए हुए हैं जोजिला, शिपकिला, जेलेपला एंड बारालाचाला. स्टेट्स हैव बीन गिवन ओवर हियर. तो इसमें से करेक्ट आंसर क्या है? 2 and 3. शिपकिला is in Himachal Pradesh and Jelepla is in Sikkim. Where is Zojila? It is in the Union Territory of Ladakh, and Baralachala is in the Union Territory, is in the state of Himachal Pradesh. राइट, तो पासेस से भी कुछ क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट टू यू दैट यू मेक एन एग्जॉस्टिव लिस्ट. आपको सर्च करने पे मिल जाएगी. अदरवाइज व्हाट यू कैन डू इज वेट फॉर अस टू रीच इंडियन ज्योग्राफी इन आवर ज्योग्राफी सीरीज. वहां पे मैं आपको एग्जॉस्टिव लिस्ट दे दूंगा इसका. राइट, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 75. Which among the following are the main components of soil? Options are given: humus, water, air and mineral particles. You have to select the correct answers from the quotes. तो ये चारों के चार soil के components होते हैं, right? Humus क्या होता है? Humus is the detritus matter which has, or it is the dead plant and animal matter which has collected in the soil substrate. Water भी present होता है soil में, and air also makes up a huge component of the soil. Apart from this, the parent material, that is the rock, because of its weathering, gets smaller and smaller in size and is also part of the soil. तो soil के components आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं क्या क्या हैं. Major components of soil are mineral particles, humus, water and air. Right? Soil है क्या? It is a mixture of rock debris and organic materials which develop on the Earth's surface. Factors भी यहाँ पे mentioned हैं. Right. So the correct answer is D. Now coming to question 76. Which of the following straits separates the European and Asian halves of Istanbul? बहुत simple question है आपकी, world geography से based. Options are given: Kerch Strait, Bosphorus Strait, the Dardanelles Strait and Bab el-Mandab. तो ये आप मैप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे. Now Bosphorus Strait आपको दिख रहा है. It separates the Black Sea from the Sea of Marmara. The city of Istanbul is divided into two halves, European Istanbul and Asian Istanbul, by the Bosphorus Strait. तो answer is Bosphorus Strait. बाकी states भी देख लेते हैं. Dardanelles Strait ये कहाँ पे है? It separates the Sea of Marmara from the Aegean Sea. Right? Battle of Gallipoli आपने अगर सुना होगा, it was fought in the First World War. तो वो भी यहीं पे लड़ा गया था. Third state आपको एक mention था Kerch Strait. अब आप क्राइमियन पेनिनसुला पे अगर देखते हैं तो what separates the Crimean Peninsula from the Russian mainland is the Kerch Strait. It separates the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. तो यहाँ पे एक आपको point दिख रहा होगा Kerch. तो यहाँ पे Kerch Strait present है. And finally Bab el-Mandab कहाँ पे है? It is made up of it separates the Arabian Peninsula from the Horn of Africa. Specifically which countries? Yemen, Eritrea and Djibouti के बीच में Bab el-Mandeb है. And it separates the Red Sea from the Gulf of Aden. Right? So the correct answer over here is the Bosphorus Strait. Right. Moving to question number 77. With regards to the concept of sea floor spreading, which of the following statements is or are incorrect? ठीक है, यहाँ पे incorrect आपको बताना था. First, it explains the formation of the oceanic crust through volcanic activity. Does it? Yes, it absolutely does. So this statement is correct. Second, it is a process that occurs at the mid-oceanic ridges. Yes, this is also correct. Third, it disproves the theory of continental drift. Is this statement correct? No, this is incorrect. Rather, it reinforces the theory of continental drift. ये देख लो sea floor spreading होता क्या है? So if you look at this graphic, the mantle has a number of convective currents because of the radioactivity that is going on inside it. Because of this, parts of the mantle get molten and they spread the sea floor. अब जो sea floor है, it is made up of number of tectonic plates, right? And these plates are spread apart from each other, right? And because of this, new crust is formed at the Atlantic, at the mid-ocean ridges, namely the, for example, the mid-oceanic Atlantic ridge. तो Atlantic ridge पे नया crust form हो रहा है. तो अर्थ पे सबसे नया crust कहाँ पे होगा? Mid-oceanic ridges पे. और अगर आपसे पूछा जाए in terms of age, as you move away from the oceanic ridges, will the age of the crust increase or decrease? So it will obviously increase. And the continental crust is always going to be older than the oceanic crust, right? अब यहाँ पे आप ये देख भी सकते हैं that there are convection currents in the mantle, जिसकी वजह से the oceanic plates are being torn apart and new volcanoes are erupting at the mid-oceanic ridges, right? अच्छा, second statement क्या था इसमें? It is a process that occurs at the mid-oceanic ridges. Third was it disproves the theory of continental drift. So the third statement is incorrect. The other two are correct. Answer is A. All right. Next question. Which among the following hills forms the meeting point of the eastern and the Western Ghats. Options are given: Cardamom, Palani, Anaimalai, and Nilgiri. So the solution is D. तो आप यहाँ पे मैप देख सकते हैं. इन 4 हिल्स को एक साथ हम बोलते हैं the Southern Hill Complex. Now, some scholars consider it to be a part of the Western Ghats, whereas some others consider it to be an independent landform. हालांकि ईस्टर्न और वेस्टर्न घाट्स एक दूसरे से कहां पे मिल रहे हैं? नीलगिरी हिल्स में. आपकी मैप में देख सकते हो, राइट? नाउ here are some details about the Southern Hill Complex. You can read them at your own leisure later on. Right. Next question. Which of the following statements is or are correct with respect to igneous rocks? First, they are formed by the cooling and solidification of magma. Is this correct? Yes, this statement is correct. ये magma को के solidify होने पे form होते हैं. कहाँ पे form होते हैं? They can form either within the earth's crust where the magma may cool, या फिर magma बाहर आके lava की तरह flow करता है और फिर cool and solidify होता है. So both within the earth's crust and outside the earth's crust इस तरह के rocks form हो सकते हैं. They are also known as secondary rocks. तो ये statement incorrect है. These are known as primary rocks. Why? Because they are coming right from the interior of the earth, and thus earth's crust में अगर आप देखें तो ये primary material है. बाकी सारे rocks either depositional होंगे या फिर metamorphic होंगे. तो in some way or the other, all the other rocks have been derived from the igneous rocks, right? Next statement, igneous rocks are rich in fossil deposits. Now this is illogical. क्यों? क्योंकि these are coming directly from the earth's crust. यहाँ पे fossils कैसे form हो सकते हैं जब इन पे कोई deposits हैं ही नहीं? Only lava formations, solidified magma है ये, right? So the first statement is correct. The other two are incorrect. Answer is A. Next question, consider the following statements about drainage patterns. First, in the trellis drainage pattern, primary tributaries of rivers flow parallel to each other and secondary tributaries join them at right angles. So is this statement correct? Yes, this statement is correct. तो आप यहाँ पे trellis pattern को देख सकते हैं that if there is a main stream of rivers, the primary tributaries हैं इसको आके एंगल पे ज्वाइन करती हैं और जो सेकेंडरी ट्रिब्यूटरीज हैं सॉरी बोथ द प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी ट्रिब्यूटरीज जॉइन दीज रिवर्स एट अ राइट एंगल. ओके, एंड द रिवर्स ओरिजिनेटिंग फ्रॉम द अमरकंटक पीक फॉलो द सेंट्रीपिटल ड्रेनेज पैटर्न. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. यहाँ पे किस तरह का पैटर्न दिखता है? रेडियल पैटर्न दिखता है. व्हाट इज दिस रेडियल पैटर्न? दैट फ्रॉम अ सर्टेन पीक अ नंबर ऑफ rivers are going to flow outwards, right? So this is the radial pattern. अमरकंटक पीक पे इस तरह का पैटर्न दिखता है. बाकी इन पैटर्न्स का यहाँ पे डिटेल दिया हुआ है, ये आप बाद में पढ़ सकते हो, right? Next question, with reference to black soil, consider the following statements. First, this soil is rich in nitrogen and organic matter. ये statement correct हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता? So this statement is incorrect. कैसे हम बता सकते हैं कि incorrect है? Because almost all of India's soils are nitrogen deficient. इसीलिए हमको इतने सारे nitrogenous fertilizers की जरूरत पड़ती है, namely urea. तो black soil is also deficient in nitrogen and organic matter, right? India में याद रखिएगा कि apart from the montane or forest soils, none of the other soils are rich in nitrogen, right? Next statement, it retains moisture for a very long duration of time. So this statement is correct. आपने देखा होगा that अच्छा इसमें इसका structure होता कैसा है? That it is made up of very fine particles of soil. It is made up of very fine particles of clay. तो इस soil का जो surface area होता है वो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. Because the surface area is very large, इनके जो interstitial spaces होती हैं या फिर soil के particles के बीच में जो space होता है, that is also very large. तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारा moisture store हो सकता है. And what happens is that during the rainy season, ये बहुत सारा moisture store कर लेते हैं and they swell up in size. And during the dry season, what happens? That they gradually lose their moisture, and जैसे जैसे moisture lose करते हैं, they shrink in size, leading to the formation of cracks in the soil. तो इसमें एक self plowing या फिर self aeration का process भी चलता है. It is found in mostly the Deccan Plateau. So yes, this is correct. It is found mostly in the Deccan Plateau. किस चीज का बना होता है ये soil? It is mostly the eroded igneous rocks of the Deccan lava plateau. जो lava flows Cretaceous period में Deccan के northwestern periods में हुए थे. With the passage of time, they got eroded and resulted in the formation of black soil. This is very beneficial for the growth of cotton. Right, so you can look यहाँ पे जो gray regions हैं, they are the black soil regions. तो आप देख सकते हैं, it is in mostly in Maharashtra, some parts of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, and also in Gujarat and some parts of Madhya Pradesh, northwestern part of the Deccan Peninsula. Right. अच्छा, next question. Which of the following is or are the ideal conditions for temperature inversion to occur? First, long summer days. तो नहीं, ये गलत है. यहाँ पे cool long winter nights की जरूरत होती है. Second, cloudy skies. नहीं, इसमें clear skies की जरूरत होती है. And third, calm and stable air. तो yes, calm and stable air is needed, because अगर बहुत ज़्यादा unstable air होगा तो there would be vertical mixing of air and temperature inversion would not be able to sustain itself. Right? तो आप ये देख सकते हैं, होता क्या है that under normal conditions the warm air is going to rise to the top and the cold air is going to settle. This is under the normal conditions. But under temperature inversion क्या होता है that there is a blanket of warm air over the colder surface air and that acts as a lid. ये एक ढक्कन की तरह act करता है, which prohibits the further mixing of convectional currents. Right, so this happens when on long nights with clear skies and under calm and stable situations when there are no vertical currents. Right, so the answer over here is 3 only, that is B. Right, now next question. इसमें से आपको बताना है warm oceanic current कौन सा है. तो options are Labrador current, Brazilian current, Peruvian current and Oyashi current. Oyashi current हमने previous test में भी दिया था. It is a cold current flowing off the eastern coast of Russia and Japan. It is going to cool the western coast of Russia and Japan. Labrador current कहाँ पे है? It is a cold current flowing over the northwestern coast of Canada. Peruvian current is also known as the Humboldt current. It is the reason for the aridity of the Atacama Desert. तो हमने डिस्कस किया था Atacama Desert ड्राई क्यों है? Because of the descending air currents over the caused by the Peruvian current or the cold Humboldt current. So the answer over here is B, Brazilian current. It is a warm water current which flows on the western edge, eastern edge of the South American continent. Right, तो आप of the coast of Brazil. तो आप यहाँ पे इसको देख भी सकते हैं that this is the Brazilian current. It is a warm water current. Right. Next question. Consider the following pairs regarding wind circulation. अब आपको बताना है कि ये cells correctly matched हैं या नहीं हैं. Right. तो polar cell कहाँ पे है? So it is obviously going to be in the polar region. नाम से ही समझ में आता है. Hadley cell is the name of the atmospheric cell in the lower latitudes. So between the intertropical convergence zone and the subtropical high, जो सेल बनता है उसको हैडली सेल बोलते हैं. एंड मिडिल लैटिट्यूड्स वाले सेल को क्या बोलते हैं? फेरल सेल बोलते हैं. सो दीज टू आर इनकरेक्टली मैच्ड. ओनली पोलर सेल इज करेक्टली मैच्ड. राइट, सो द करेक्ट आंसर ओवर हियर इज A. One only. Right. Next question. Which of the following conditions are favorable for the formation of tropical cyclones? तो tropical cyclones के formation के लिए कुछ conditions चाहिए होती हैं. वो यहाँ पे मेंशन करी गई हैं. आपको बताना है कि इसमें से कौन कौन सी करेक्ट है. फर्स्ट, large sea surface with high temperature higher than 27 degrees centigrade. So yes, this is a precondition. Second, presence of the Coriolis force. So yes, this is also necessary. Why? Because these cyclones are nothing but rapidly rotating storms of moist wind. तो अगर Coriolis force नहीं होगा तो ये rotate नहीं कर पाएंगे, right? तो इसलिए these cannot form at the equator itself. ये equator से थोड़ी दूरी पे बन सकते हैं, right? So in the tropical regions, most frequently they are formed in the 20 degree and 20 degree north and south latitudes. तो उसके बीच में बनते हैं. Third, small variations in the vertical wind speed. Yes, this is also necessary, and a pre-existing weak low pressure area. तो low pressure जहाँ पे होगा वहाँ पे high pressure area से wind rush inwards करेंगी, right? And under the Coriolis effect, they start rotating. And all these four preconditions are necessary, right? So you can look at the explanation later on, right? Next question, which of the following statements regarding the Constituent Assembly is or are correct? Members of the Assembly were elected on the basis of universal franchise. तो ये गलत है. They were elected in accordance with the Cabinet Mission Plan. क्या plan था? That the provincial legislatures of the British Indian provinces would indirectly elect members, and the Indian princes would nominate members to the Constituent Assembly. The first statement is incorrect. Second, Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the objectives resolution in the Constituent Assembly. So this statement is correct. Answer is B, 2 only. Right. Next question, which one of the following is a significant feature of the Quit India movement? A, it was a spontaneous movement marked by various instances of violence. Yes, this is the correct option. आगे देख लीजिए options क्या क्या हैं. It was confined to the cities and the villages remained unaffected. No. Initially, in the initial phase, it began in the cities, but very quickly it spread to the villages as well. Third statement is, it was marked by very large participation of Muslims. This is incorrect. Why? Because the Muslim League had advised most of the Muslims to stay away, and unlike the non-cooperation movement, Muslim participation in the Quit India movement was very limited. Fourth statement, it was led by Mahatma Gandhi. So this is incorrect. क्यों? क्योंकि 8 अगस्त 1942 को जैसे ही महात्मा गांधी ने डू और डाई का स्पीच दिया फ्रॉम बॉम्बे, the very next morning, all the top Congress leaders, including Gandhi ji, they were arrested by the government. So the movement became leaderless, right? So option A is correct, that it was a spontaneous movement marked by various instances of violence. Right. Next question, question 88. आपको बताना है that which of the following statements about Raja Ram Mohan Roy is or are incorrect. First statement is, he upheld the infallibility of the Vedas. This statement is incorrect. He rejected the infallibility of the Vedas. Right. Second statement, he was against idol worship and preached monotheism. This is correct. So he wanted to remove all the prejudices, mysticism and ritualism that had been plaguing the Indian religions, especially Hinduism. और इसके लिए इन्होंने preach करना शुरू किया monotheism. And for this, he took scriptural support. कहाँ किस scripture का इन्होंने support लिया? Not only the Vedas and the Upanishads, but also the religious books of other religions. And they are against idol worship. Third, he believed that the evils prevalent within the Indian society could be overcome only by reviving and purifying traditional Indian values and institutions. So this is also incorrect. Although he was very well deeply rooted in the Indian, he said that this Indian society needed to be modernized, and ये modernization कैसे हो सकता है? Only through Western modern education, right? So he did not want to revive the Indian religion. He wanted to reform it. कैसे? By injecting it with the Western medicine. Right. So the correct answer is B, 1 and 3 only. So statement 1 and 3 are incorrect, and statement 2 is correct. Right. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding the Government of India Act 1935. 1. It provided the right to vote to the entire population of British India. 2. It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation, and 3, it provided for provincial autonomy. आपको बताना है कि इन statements में कौन-कौन से correct हैं. So the first statement is incorrect. Universal adult franchise was given only after independence during the general elections of 1951-52. Right? So first statement is incorrect. The other two statements are correct. So answer is A, 2 and 3 only. यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट के सारे प्रोविजंस मेंशन्ड हैं. You can go through them later on. Question number 90. Which of the following statements is incorrect regarding the Nagpur session, December 1920 of the Indian National Congress? First, the non-cooperation resolution was adopted on the issues of Purna Swaraj, Khilafat and Punjab wrongs. So this is incorrect. Why? क्योंकि यहाँ पे पूर्ण स्वराज की बात करी गई है और रेजोल्यूशन में क्या था? It had demanded Swaraj and not Purna Swaraj. Second, the non-cooperation resolution was moved by C.R. Das and seconded by Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So this is incorrect. Move to C.R. Das ने किया था, लेकिन Jinnah had opposed it. Second किसने किया था? मोतीलाल नेहरू ने. And it was seconded by Motilal Nehru. The third statement, the Congress organization was democratized and decentralized. So this statement is correct. तो कांग्रेस की में कई सारे एक लेवल्स बना दिए गए from the top to the bottom, consisting of the Congress Working Committee, All India Congress Committee, Provincial Congress Committee, Zilla Congress Committee, Ward Congress Committee, Block Congress Committee, and Village Congress Committee. And a bottom upwards democracy was established. So the third statement is correct. And fourth statement, provincial Congress committees were set up on the basis of geographical regions. So this is incorrect. इनको set up किया गया था linguistic basis पे, on the basis of language. These committees and provincial Congress committees had been set up. हमको ये क्या बताना था इसमें कि incorrect कौन-कौन से हैं? तो 1, 2 and 4 are incorrect. So answer is D, 1, 2 and 4 only. Next question. The Indian Councils Act 1909 provided for separate electorates to which of the following groups? 1, Indian Muslims, 2, Hindu Zamindars, 3, Anglo-Indians, 4, Indian Christians, and 5th, Chambers of Commerce at Bombay and Calcutta. आपको बताना है कि इसमें सही कौन-कौन से दिए गए हैं. तो ये देख लीजिए. इंडियन काउंसिल्स एक्ट 1909 में सेपरेट इलेक्टरेट्स किसको दिए गए? पहले तो इंडियन मुस्लिम्स, ये सब जानते हैं, लेकिन इसके अलावा हिंदू जमींदार्स और चेंबर्स ऑफ कॉमर्स एट कैलकाटा एंड चेंबर्स ऑफ कॉमर्स एट बॉम्बे को भी सेपरेट इलेक्टरेट्स दिए गए थे. राइट. सो द आंसर इज 1, 2 and 5 only, that is D. बाकी सेपरेट इलेक्टरेट्स का एक्सपेंशन कब हुआ, कैसे हुआ, you can read from here. Next question, question 92. With reference to the role of Indian capitalist class in the national movement, consider the following statements. First, they preferred mass-based movement as opposed to constitutional forms of struggle. अब ये लॉजिकली आपको सही लगता है या गलत लगता है? So most of you have answered this correctly. ये गलत है. They did not prefer mass-based movement. They in fact preferred constitutional methods of struggle, and they were always trying to bring the nationalists and the government to the negotiating table. Why? Because for industry to succeed, there should be stable conditions in the country, right? And further, अगर movement बहुत ज़्यादा radicalize हो गया, so it could also challenge the very institution of capitalism. Therefore, they were never in the favor of very radical mass movements. However, at times they acted in concert with the Congress. Till that time, जब तक उन्हें लगा कि कांग्रेस मूवमेंट उनके बेनिफिट में है, तब तक वो कांग्रेस का साथ देते थे, and that is why they participated in the civil disobedience movement for the initial phase, right? So this second statement is the capitalists largely supported the civil disobedience movement. So this statement is correct. Answer is B, 2 only. Right. Next question. With reference to the nature of peasant movements in India after the Great Revolt of 1857, consider the following statements. 1. The peasant struggles were specific and sought redressal of particular grievances. So this statement is correct. So these were not broad-based movements. ये specific issues पे, for example reduction of land revenue or recognition of land ownership rights, or the sorry if some peasants had been evicted by the zamindars, so that their tenancy rights should be agreed upon or recognized. तो इस तरह के issues की वजह से peasant movements after the Great Revolt of 1857 होते थे. Second, each of these movements led to continuous mass civil disobedience and generated a pan-India outrage. So this statement is wrong. These were localized movements which did not enrage the general population of India. ये local issues होते थे और local इनका scale भी होता था. Right? So the answer is A, one only. Next question, 94. The famous 14-point demands were proposed by Muhammad Ali Jinnah in response to which of these? Right? So options are CR formula, Simon Commission, Wavell Plan, and Nehru Report. So answer over here is Nehru Report. So Nehru Report was submitted by the Congress and the All Parties Conference to the British government in September of 1928. However, the Muslim League did not agree to it, and in response to this, Jinnah had made a 14 points demand, जिसमें कई सारे demands थी, 14 demands थी, which were mostly with regards to safeguarding the interests of Muslims in India, and 5 of these were key demands. So you can go through each of these demands at your own leisure. जो key demands हैं उनको bold में mention किया हुआ है. Right. Now next question, which of the following is not matched correctly? Trimurti sculpture, Elephanta caves, Ravan Anugrah, that is Ravan shaking Mount Kailash, Ellora caves, descent of the Ganges, Mahabalipuram, or Panch Pandavrat, Patadakkal. So the answer is D. Panch Pandavrat kahan pe hai? These are a group of monolithic rock temples made out of granite at Mahabalipuram. Mahabalipuram mein there is a group of monuments which has been recognized as a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. ये उसका part है. Right? When were they built? They were built by the Pallavas in the 7th and 8th centuries, and these were the pioneering works of the Dravidian school of architecture. Right? कहाँ पे हैं ये? Mahabalipuram में. Right? They are not in Pattadakkal. Right. Next question. Which of the following were Portuguese travelers who visited Vijayanagar during the reign of Krishnadev Rai? Options are Niccolo Conti, Duarte Barbosa, Domingo Pace, and Fernando Nunes. So बताना क्या है कि पोर्चुगीज कौन थे और कृष्णदेव राय के पीरियड में कौन-कौन आए. Right? तो निकोलो कॉन्टी देख लीजिए. He was Italian and he came in the beginning of the 15th century. कृष्णदेव राय का रेन कब से कब तक था? From 1509 to 1529. निकोलो कॉन्टी visited India during the 1420s and 30s, during the period of Dev Rai the first. He was Italian. So first is incorrect. Second, Duarte Barbosa, he was Portuguese and he visited India during the period of Krishnadev Raya. Third, Domingo Pace, also Portuguese, also visited India during the period of Krishnadev Raya. And Fernando Nunes, he was Portuguese, but he visited after Krishnadev Raya's reign, right, during the period of Achyut Raya. Right. Question number 97. So the answer over, question 96 में answer क्या होगा? B, 2 and 3 only. Barbosa and Pace were the Portuguese travelers who came to Vijayanagar during the period of Krishnadev Raya. Right. Next question. Who among the following began the tradition of making land grants to Brahmins? Options are Guptas, Satavahanas, Kushans, and Vakataks. Answer over here is Satavahanas. Right? They were the first to start the tradition of giving land grants to Brahmins. They also patronized Buddhist monks. There is some extra information about the Satavahanas जो आप यहाँ पे पढ़ सकते हैं. Right. Next question. With reference to Mauryan polity, the term Lavan Adhyaksh was used for. Options दिए हुए हैं: Superintendent of Salt Department, Superintendent of Forest Department, Superintendent of Weights and Measures, or Superintendents of Ports. The correct answer is Superintendent of Salt Department, A. Superintendent of Forest Department को क्या बोलते थे? Kupya Adhyaksh. Superintendent of Weights and Measures was called the Potova Adhyaksh, and superintendent of ports and harbors was known as the Patan Adhyaksh. Right. So the Mauryas had created a centralized system of administration with a large bureaucracy, and their topmost officials were known as Tirthas. The Arthashastra has mentioned 18 different kinds of Tirthas, जिसमें मंत्रिन होता था, पुरोहित होता था. So they were also known as the Amatyas or Mahamatyas. Below them were the heads of department known as the Adhyakshas. The Arthashastra has mentioned 27 such Adhyakshas. And यहाँ पे ये आपको जो दिख रहे हैं, the superintendents, they were nothing but the Adhyakshas. तो 27 में से 4 यहाँ पे mention है. My suggestion to you would be to make an exhaustive list of all of these Adhyakshas and Tirthas कि उनका function क्या क्या होता था. You never know, UPSC एक question इससे बनाएगा. Right. Next question: which of the following were brought to India by the Turks? Magnetic compass, water wheel, paper, and gunpowder. So all these were brought to India by the Turks. इन सबका invention कहाँ पे हुआ? China में हुआ. Who exported these technologies outside of China? The Arabs. The Turks learnt it from the Arabs and then brought it to India in the 13th and 14th centuries. The magnetic compass was developed in China, और इसको चाइनीज बोलते थे लोडस्टोन. तो लोडस्टोन इज अ काइंड ऑफ मैग्नेटिक स्टोन जिसको अगर आप एक स्ट्रिंग से लटका दीजिए तो इट विल ऑलवेज गेट ओरिएंटेड इन अ नॉर्थ साउथ डायरेक्शन. अरब्स और टर्क्स इसको क्या बोलते थे? कुतुबनामा. कुतुब का मतलब होता है पोल, राइट? तो इट वुड टेल द नॉर्थ एंड द साउथ पोल, राइट? वाटर व्हील भी टर्क्स लेके आए. इट वाज नोन एज द साकिया, एंड जब इसमें गियर्स लग गए तो इसको बोलते थे रहेट. Paper manufacturing may have been present in Sindh before the advent of the Turks, but mainland India में इसको definitely Turks ही लेकर के आए थे. आमिर खुसरो ने mention किया हुआ है अपनी किताब खजाइन उल फुतू में that paper had become so common in India that मिठाई वाले अपनी मिठाइयाँ इसमें रैप करके बेचते थे. And gunpowder was also brought from China to India through the Turks, by the Turks. लेकिन इनिशियली इसको वॉरफेयर में या फिर माइनिंग में नहीं यूज किया गया, इसको पायरोटेक्नी या फिर आतिशबाजी में यूज किया जाता था. तो आंसर इसका क्या होगा? 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And now last question: in Buddhist culture, the Karn Mudra indicates A, gesture of reassurance, blessing and protection; B, to invoke earth as witness of truthfulness of the Buddha; C, to ward off evil; and D, supreme enlightenment of the Buddha. So the correct answer over here is C. कर्ण मुद्रा होता क्या है? ये देखो इस तरह से जो रॉक स्टार वाला मुद्रा होता है इसको कर्ण मुद्रा होता है. It is the mudra which is associated with the Buddha warding off evil and the demons. पहला वाला क्या है? Gesture of reassurance and blessing and protection. It is known as the अभय मुद्रा. You can look over here कि बुद्धा को दिखाया जाता है that he is simply raising in hand in reassurance to his disciple. Second वाला to invoke the earth as witness to the truthfulness of the Buddha. तो इसको ये UPSC ने question already पूछ लिया है. This is known as the भूमि स्पर्श मुद्रा. इसके साथ एक कहानी associated है that when Buddha was meditating, the demon Mara got jealous and he tried to break the concentration of Buddha. इसने कई सारे पैतरे अपनाए. For example, he also sent 3 of his beautiful daughters to dance in front of the Buddha in order to break his concentration. गाना गाया उन्होंने, काटा लगा, लेकिन Buddha kept on meditating. He did not get distracted. And finally, when he achieved enlightenment, he called the earth by touching it in order to witness his steadfastness and his truthfulness. And finally, D, supreme enlightenment of the Buddha. So it is symbolized by the Uttra Bodhini mudra. यहाँ पे क्या होता है that 2 hands are placed above the head with the index fingers and the other fingers intertwined. It is the gesture of supreme enlightenment, right? So you can go through all of these mudras at your own leisure later on, and that is it from me. And right, and okay, Yeah, thank you. And I will ask Nitish sir to continue with the rest of the lecture.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
So is the screen visible? Just on the chat, let me know, is the screen visible or not? Okay. So let us continue. So for the first question is Good Friday Agreement. Good Friday Agreement, it is also known as the Belfast Agreement. It is the Belfast Agreement. It was an agreement between the British government or the government of the Great Britain and the Northern Ireland. As you know that the Northern Ireland is part of United Kingdom. So in order to have the governance in the Northern Ireland region, they had an agreement and it is called as Good Friday Agreement or Belfast Agreement. Because of Brexit, this agreement becomes important. Okay. Now let us go to the second question. With regard to the Ayushman Bharat program, consider the following statements. Consider the following statements. First, Ayushman Bharat is an integrated approach comprising of health insurance and primary, secondary and tertiary health care. This is the correct statement, that it is related to all three, primary, secondary and tertiary. Second statement, the government sponsored health insurance scheme will provide free coverage up to rupees 5 lakh per family member. No, it is not per family member. It is only 5 lakh per family. Okay. So this is wrong in the statement. And also remember that it is not only the government hospitals, but also the empaneled private hospitals. So not only government hospital, but also empaneled private hospitals that will be having their insurance through Ayushman Bharat scheme. And third statement, it is correct that there is no restriction on the basis of family size, age or gender. So this is the second question. Whatever you want to read, we have provided them in our solutions. Okay? If you have anything more that you need to know, we have provided them in the solutions itself. Okay? Now third statement. Third statement says which of the following may come under the definition of state. Now some of you might be confused about BCCI and High Court. So DMRC, it is a public sector undertaking. It is considered under the definition of state. It is correct as it is provided in the constitution itself, Article 12. Delhi High Court, it was provided on the basis of cases to cases that it may be considered. So remember, it is may, the word may that is provided in this question that makes all the bodies correct. Okay, because in one time or the another, courts has established that anything that includes the public interest have the possibility of coming in the definition of state. Is it clear? So the answer to this question is C. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is related to Article 12. Now let us go to the fourth question. With regard to the fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy, consider the following statements. First statement, fundamental rights are limitation on the powers of the government operating on an individual, whereas DPSP are instructions to the government for achieving certain ends through their actions. This statement is correct, and that is why we also remember DPSPs as the instrument of instructions. So first statement is correct. Second statement, anything contained in DPSP cannot be violated either by the individuals or the state, as long as there is no law made to that effect. It means this statement is correct. The idea of directive principle is to ensure that whatever is to be done, it is directed and it can be abridged or it can be provided only through a law. So this statement is also correct. However, for the fundamental rights, there is the need for the execution of those rights. So the second statement is also correct. Third statement, that a law against DPSCs cannot be declared as void by the courts, but this is not the case with fundamental rights. You might be having a confusion regarding Article 31C. However, that is an exception. That is an exception. We are here talking about the general or a generic statement. That is all the statements are correct. Okay. Now, fifth question. Consider the following statements about the speaker. Okay. Speaker of Lok Sabha we are discussing here. So Lok Sabha elects its speaker by an effective majority. This is wrong. Lok Sabha elects the speaker through simple majority. First statement is wrong. Second statement, he or she is no longer speaker if he or she ceases to be a member of Lok Sabha due to any reason. This statement is correct. Third statement, when Lok Sabha dissolves, the speaker vacates his or her office immediately. No, the speaker continues to hold the office till the time newly elected Lok Sabha, or till immediately before the first sitting of newly elected Lok Sabha. Now, fourth statement, when there is a deadlock in vote, the speaker can cast his or her casting vote to break the deadlock. This is correct. However, second part of the statement is can call for a joint sitting. This is wrong because only the President of India can call for a joint sitting. No other authority in this country can call for a joint sitting. Some might be confused that what the answer, can the answer be governor? So there is no provision of joint sitting at the state level. So answer cannot be the governor also. Okay. So they are asking incorrect. So this is a complex question. So they are not asking correct, they are asking incorrect, except the second statement, all are incorrect. So answer to this will be 1, 3 and 4. D will be the answer. Which ministry releases the Gazette of India? How many of you did this question correct? How many of you knew this? Very good. How many of you knew before I told you? How many of you knew before I told you? Anyone who knew it before? No one? Chaliye. So this can be a question. This is a very important question, and I expect this question will come someday. This question will come someday. So the answer to this question is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs releases the Gazette of India. Okay, the official Gazette. And in what is the time duration? So the Gazette is published weekly. ठीक है, Gazette is published weekly, जिसको in generally हम बोलते हैं employment समाचार भी आ जाता है. ठीक है, that is all provided in the Gazette. Now, this is also a very good question. Which of the following are the part of core of the core schemes? Which of the following are the part of core of the core schemes? So, MG Narega, it is a part of core of the core scheme. Then Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana. We don't know because we have not read about it specifically. But are the schemes related to scheduled tribes? Are they part of core of the core schemes? Yes. And Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana, is it for scheduled tribes? Yes. So this is the part of it. Third, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Are agricultural schemes related to the core of the core schemes? No. So third statement is wrong. Now, if you know that third is wrong, then the answer will be C. Okay, then the answer will be C. However, even if you know that it is Indira Gandhi Old Age Pension Scheme is part of National Social Assistance Program, then also the answer will be correct. So the answer to this is C, 1, 2 and 5. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana and Swachh Bharat Mission are core schemes, not the core of the core schemes. About this, we already covered when we began our government schemes topic. We already covered about this in our previous class, in previous videos and classes. Now, next question. Consider the following state provisions of Article 15(6) which had been added by the Constitution Act, Amendment Act 103, Constitution Amendment Act. So 15(6) permits the government to provide for the advancement of economically weaker sections. Yes, it is correct. 10% seats will be reserved for economically weaker section, education institutions, including private education institutions. This is also correct. Such reservations will also apply to minority educational institutions. This is wrong. They will not apply to minority institutional educational institutions. And they are asking incorrect. So only third statement is incorrect. So answer will be B. Now, ninth question, which of the following are the objective of Right to Information Act? All are the objective except 6. So promote transparency and accountability. It is an objective. Set a practical regime for giving citizens access to information that is under the control of public authorities. It is a part of the system. To empower the citizens, it is also an objective. To promote transparency and accountability in the working of the government. Understand, it is transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority, and it is to promote transparency, accountability in the working of the government. This is also an objective. Contain corruption, yes. Then keep necessary vigil on the instruments of governance. This is correct. Make the governed more accountable to the government. No, this is wrong. It is the make the government more accountable to the governed. To the government more accountable to the governed. So it means sixth statement is wrong, and there is option A, that is not having sixth statement. So this is answer to this statement is A. Now 10th question, it is from Delimitation Commission of India. So Article 82 provides for the establishment of Delimitation Commission. Yes, Article 82 provides for the Parliament to establish a commission that will limit the constituencies. So Article 82 provides for it. Delimitation Commission is a statutory body. Yes, it is also correct, because Constitution provides that there will be such a commission, but Constitution does not establish it as Delimitation Commission. Third, Delimitation Commission is appointed by the President of India and works in collaboration with the Election Commission of India. This is also correct, and its orders have the force of law and cannot be called in question in any court. This is also correct. These are all statements are correct. This is a past year question, this 2019 question itself. So it was a good question. That's why we included in this. So even if you do not know anything about this, even if you do not know anything about this question, then see how we can cater to these questions. United Nations Convention Against Corruption has a protocol against the smuggling of migrants by land, sea and air. ये करप्शन का पार्ट आएगा कि किसी और चीज का पार्ट आएगा? मतलब अगर स्मगलिंग ऑफ ह्यूमंस होगी तो उसको क्या बोला जाएगा? पोस्ट योर आंसर्स, क्या बोला जाएगा उसको? स्मगलिंग ऑफ ह्यूमंस होगी तो क्या उसको करप्शन बोलेंगे? Yes, it will be called as trafficking. So first statement is wrong. First statement is wrong. Second, United Nations Convention Against Corruption is first ever legally binding global anti-corruption instrument. This statement is correct, but if we are tackling this question, we don't know about it. Third, the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime is the inclusion of a specific chapter aimed at returning assets to the rightful owners from whom they have been taken illicitly. अगर आप किसी का illicit एसेट ले लेते हैं, क्या वो करप्शन है? करप्शन है ना? तो इट मींस 1 and 3 statements are intermixed. 1 and 3 statements are intermixed. Corruption third statement में provide है, and other is transnational organized crime. It means third statement is wrong. And fourth statement, the United Nations Office on Drugs Crime is mandated by its member state to assist the implementation of both UNCAC and UNTOC. This is correct. So the answer to this question is C, 2 and 4. So do not read all the organizations in detail. Do not go after this कि हम organization से question आया है तो we will read about this in detail. It is only that this organization was in news, and if you use your logic, you can very easily attempt this question. And this was one of the most difficult question of UPSC 2019 prelims examination. ठीक है? Next question. So the 92-year-old practice of presenting a separate rail budget ended in 2017, with the finance ministry accepting railway ministry proposal to merge it with general budget. Which of the following statement is or are correct? So origin in 1924, बिल्कुल सही है. A separate railway budget was recommended because most of the infrastructure spending by the British government went towards building railway lines. This is also correct. Third statement, the union budget and the railway budget are constitutional requirement and are presented under Article 112 of the Indian Constitution. It is wrong. The annual financial statement is the constitutional requirement and not a general or railway budget. The third statement is wrong, and the answer to this question is B, 1 and 2. This is a very simple question. There are 5 organizations of World Bank Group: IBRD, IDA, IFC, MEGA and ICSID. India is not a member of ICSID. So the answer to this question is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So C will be the answer. Now, which of the following statements is or are correct about the Election Commission of India? The body administers election to the Lok Sabha. Yes. Rajya Sabha. Yes. State legislature. Yes. Urban local bodies. No. Panchayats. No. Statement is wrong. First statement is wrong. Second statement, let us see. So we have to find the correct. So A and C to ho hi nahi sakte. A and C are not there. Second statement. As per the Constitution of India, Election Commission of India is a 3-member body. No, this is also wrong. Election Commission of India is a multi-member body. Second statement is also wrong. The salaries, allowances, and pensions payable to or in respect of Chief Election Commission shall be charged upon Consolidated Fund of India. This statement is wrong because they are provided through the union budget. That is annual financial statement. So the answer to this question is D, none of these. Now 15th question. Consider the following statements about the President of India. The President may be removed before the expiry of term through impeachment for proved misbehavior and capacity. No, this is wrong. Why? Because a violation of Constitution has been provided as the ground for the removal of the President of India. Oath of the President taken in presence of CJI, yes, and in his or her absence by the senior most judge of Supreme Court of India. This is also correct. Second statement is correct. First is wrong. A and D cannot be the answer. B cannot also be the answer. The answer will be C2 only. So even though we do not know what is there in the third statement, we can do this answer correct. However, let us look at this. While exercising pocket veto, the president has to return the bill for reconsideration within 10 days. Oh, आपको remember I told you, और जिनको नहीं पढ़ाया था, मतलब जिन्होंने अभी पढ़ाई वढ़ाई नहीं करी है, तो वो लोगों को पता रहेगा that whenever there is a pocket veto, the US president has the limit of 10 days and Indian president has the limit of n number or unlimited time period. ठीक है? Answer to this is C, 2 only. फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन है, डिनका एंड न्यूअर ट्राइब में कंफ्लिक्ट चल रहा था साउथ सूडान में. ठीक है, रिमेंबर दिस. डिनका एंड न्यूअर ट्राइब रिलेटेड टू साउथ सूडान. फ्रॉम रवांडा it is Hutu and Tutsi. From Turkey it's Kurds, and from Yemen it is Houthis. ठीक है, this is remember. Turkey, Kurds, Rwanda, Hutu and Tutsi. South Sudan, Dinka and Nuer. Yemen, Houthi, Houthi, Houthi. Okay, so this is the conflict. Consider the following statements about the mutual delegation of power, of executive power between union and states. Parliament can assign an executive function to the center to the state government if it is consent. This is wrong. President can assign. First statement is wrong. Okay, you directly get the answer. It is C, 3 only. However, let us look at the second statement. State legislature can entrust the executive function of the state to center if it agrees. This is also wrong. It is the governor that can entrust to the function. Third, only parliament can confer executive duties of state government without the state consenting to pass a law. This is also correct. This is also correct. So answer to this will be C, 3 only. Next question. This is a very important question. Logic, only logical question. Constitution 75th Amendment. No, it was 97th Amendment 2011. So this is wrong. First statement is wrong, incorrect. So yani ke B cannot be the answer. The Constitution specified the maximum number of directors of cooperative societies to not exceeding 21 members. It is not 20, it is 21 members. Third statement, a fixed term of 5 years from the date of election in respect to elected members of the board and its office bearers and an authority or body for the conduct of elections or to a cooperative society. This statement is correct. So the answer to this question is A, 1 and 2 only, because they are asking incorrect. The details about the cooperative societies I have provided in the solution itself. 90th questions regarding the CDS, the Chief of Defence Staff. So he would be the primus inter pares. It will be first among the equals. Yes, it is true. CDS will exercise military command. This is wrong. The CDS will not be exercising any military command, and this will be only an administrative post. That will be a 4-star rank post. So the answer to this is 1, A only. Explanation I have provided. Very simple question. Which of the following is not part of union executive? So members of parliament are not part of union executive. There is only one option that does not include the fourth, and answer is B, 1, 2, 3 and 5. Which of the following statements about solar power tree is correct? Who did this question correct? Solar power tree. Although I know you all can do, because it is the basic subject for the preparation. Solar tree. Very good. Very good. तो जिन्होंने नहीं देखा है बस have a look, you'll get your answer. ठीक है? This is a solar tree. Where look at the first statement. It is an innovative way to generate electricity using power in limited space. Yes. See, so many power panels. So many power panels are being used at one pillar. So this is first statement is correct. Second statement, or we have to only identify not correct. So second statement, it has a structure like a tree with branches made of steel to hold the photovoltaic panels. Yes, this is correct, as you have seen. It has a water sprinkler at the top for self-cleaning panels. This is also correct. It is the first project developed under the International Solar Alliance. No, this is wrong. It is a project of CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Okay, this is a project of CSIR. So this is D is incorrect. What is Nidhi? So most of you, I have seen the statistics. Most of you has given the answer as A. So it is not Nidhi, it is Suvarna. Okay, the first cloned buffalo calf is Suvarna. It is not Nidhi. And the answer to this question is C, a program which works towards nurturing knowledge-based technology-driven ideas and innovation into successful startup. This is a factual question. So it is National Initiative for Development and Harnessing Innovation. Okay? It is a program of Department of Science and Technology. So it is a program for innovation. Sorry, not Suvarna, Samroop. So Samroop is the world's first cloned buffalo calf. So Samroop is the world's first cloned buffalo calf. Now, which of the following statements are correct? All the statements are correct. The question is very easy. Question is very easy. It's just sometimes we look at the question and we identify that the options are very they are very lengthy. It means the question will be difficult. Though बहुत simple है, पढ़ते हैं. Animals that had their DNA manipulated to possess and express an extra foreign gene are transgenic animals. They are not asking you anything. They are telling you in the question that animals that has their DNA manipulated to possess and express an extra foreign gene are known as transgenic animals. Now, why are these? They are asking why these are modifications and what benefits they will provide. What are these modification and what benefits it will provide? So, you just to identify benefits. So, they are specifically designed so that the genes are regulated and the normal body functions are affected. Yes, यही देखते हैं. Many transgenic animals are designed to increase our understanding how genes contributed to the development of disease. ये भी करा जाता है. Medicines required to treat certain human diseases can contain biological products, but such products are often expensive to make. So similarly, very simple thing, they are asking that they are used for gene therapy in medical system. This is also correct. Transgenic mice are developed to test the safety of vaccines so that they have the human genes. This is also correct. Transgenic animals are made that carry genes which make them more sensitive to toxic substances. This is also correct. So answer is all 1, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 5. So do not leave the question before you attempt it. Do not leave the question before you attempt it. Just read the question properly. Sometimes lengthy questions are very easy. Now 24th question, this is related to cyber security. So Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, this had been set up in 2018. So first statement is correct that it was set up in 2018. But the catch is there that all types of crimes, no, only जब cyber crime coordination center है, तो why all types of crimes? Okay, so it is only for cyber crimes. इसीलिए first statement wrong हो गया. Second, it is one of the component of National Crime Reporting Portal. No, National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal is the part of I4C. So only D option left, that is none of the above. Now, Cartoset. Someone posted that they have a doubt regarding Cartoset. What doubt do you have? What doubt do you have? Tell me the doubt. And then we'll continue. I know आप लोगों को भूख लग रही होगी. No doubt. So, with regard to Cartoset satellite, consider the following statements. सर आई हैव रेड एंड सर्च ऑल द स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट। ठीक है, पक्का आपने चेक किया है। अब दिखाते हैं आपको कैसे सब कुछ गूगल से पढ़ाई नहीं होती। नाउ अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन studying yourself through Google or studying through someone. Now, Cartosat satellites are Earth observation satellites. बिल्कुल सही है. They are mainly for large scale, not small scale mapping. ठीक है? So they are mainly for large scale mapping. Small scale में करके क्या करेंगे? Satellite क्यों भेजनी है? ठीक है? First statement is wrong. हाँ, Google ने गलत बता दिया. Second statement, it helps to detect changes in natural, geographical or man-made features as their cameras can look back and forth in an angle to generate continuous spot images. बिल्कुल correct है. This is correct statement. Third, Cartosat is the third generation advanced Earth observation satellite carried by Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, not GSLV. So the question, what the question had? The question had that it is launched through GSLV Mach 3. But what does the state question is saying? That it is PSLV. So third is correct. समझे कि कैसे आपने सर्च गलत किया? So it is launched by PSLV, not GSLV. I have provided it in the solutions, the detail that it is a large scale observation satellite. Third generation है, carried by PSLV C47. Okay. मजा आया क्वेश्चन में? ऐसे ही है यूपीएससी माय फ्रेंड, दिस इज यूपीएससी. दैट ऐसा ही नहीं है कि दिस इज द टफेस्ट क्वेश्चन और दिस इज द टफेस्ट पेपर इन दिस कंट्री. With regard to qubit, consider the following statement. Consider the following statement. Qubit is the basic. कितने लोगों ने अटेम्प्ट किया है वो सब छोड़ दो. कितने लोगों ने अटेम्प्ट किया है? जब तक हमने देखा था लास्ट, जीरो कैंडिडेट अटेम्प्टेड फॉर इट. दिस एंड नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. कोई है जिसने अटेम्प्ट किया? Anyone who attempted this question? Very good. अब आपको थोड़ा सा चीज बताते हैं दैट यूपीएससी में पेपर इज फॉर जनरल स्टडीज. आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज सी. आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज सी. ठीक है, कोई है जब अटेम्प्ट करने वाले तो ये तो पूछना ही नहीं पड़ेगा कि किसने इसको ठीक किया है. सो आंसर इज सी. बोथ आर करेक्ट. This is a question to provide you knowledge. So qubit is the basic information in a quantum computer. This is correct. It is the basic unit in the quantum computer. Next, the researchers has used entanglement theory to arrive for a test for fairness of a quantum coin. It means qubit को identify करने के लिए whether it is correct or not. अब समझना है कि quantum computer use क्यों होता है. बस GS के हिसाब से you just need to know this. You need to know why it was in use because of the use of entangled theory to identify about the fairness of qubit. This is all you need to know. That entanglement theory was used to test the fairness of a quantum coin that is known as qubit. Why it is used? That is most important. So it is used in the transferring of information. Okay? It is used in the transferring of information. So it is used in quantum computing so that the bank transaction, online shopping, and any other information transfer that is done on the basis of the information transfer. So if an information is transferring, this information should be unique and this information should be secure. तो इसलिए करते हैं quantum computing. अब इससे क्वेश्चन आने के चांसेस इसलिए हैं because yesterday our prime minister has used the word quantum jump. ठीक है, अब यूपीएससी knows that quantum jump is now in news for the whole country. So quantum computing a question may come, very basic question. Though we prepared this paper before, लेकिन our prime minister helped us to have a discussion on this topic. ठीक है, इसलिए our prime minister, honorable prime minister, used the word quantum economy. Is it clear? That's very good, Prashant, that whether you made it correct. That you had this question correct. Very good. With regard to MAC address, ये भी बहुत लिमिटेड लोगों ने किया है. लास्ट टाइम ने चेक किया था, किसी ने नहीं किया था. हम मान के चल रहे हैं प्रशांत आपने किया भी होगा, सही भी किया होगा. ठीक है, तो बेकार आप एनर्जी मत लगाना. तो the address that uniquely defines a software, no, it is a hardware. Media access control, it is provided in the devices. It is a hardware system that will limit your IP address, that will restrict your IP address, and that IP address will make you identify your device. It means if Jammu and Kashmir, it is being provided so that any information is limited to one use of one IP address through one device. That is why it is in use. So it is a software interface. Oh, sorry, hardware interface. This is the idea. MAC address for all computers on a network is unique. This is wrong. MAC address for each computer on a network is unique. यानी कि it is unique for each computer. Network का नहीं, सब computer का unique होता है. So that it can be identified that from where that information is sent. ठीक है? So it was in news because of the idea of internet provisions and the providing of 4G, 2G and opening up the network communication in Kashmir. So this was in news. That is why we prepared this question. Okay, so answer to this is D, none. What is power of Serbia project? It's a simple question. Okay, it's a simple question. Power of Serbia project is a pipeline. Which pipeline? ये confusion हुआ था. Which pipeline? क्योंकि ये तो हमें पता है that it is between Russia to China. We know this, but the confusion UPSC sometimes will confuse you. Natural gas की crude oil. So the answer is natural gas. ठीक है? The answer is natural gas. Is it clear? I have provided कहाँ से कहाँ तक है. This is the ये हमको नहीं आती है, रशिया में नहीं पता. कोवी कथंक से ओए यहाँ से it is still China. ठीक है? Now, with regard to Gram Sabha, consider the following statements. Member of Gram Sabha are those who are 18 years of age and living in the village. ये question किसने ठीक किया है? This is also a good question. इसमें बहुत दिमाग लगाया था मैं बनाने में. Anyone who did this correct? It is a logical question. So none of you did this correct. So it is not the voter list, it is the electoral roll. Voter list नहीं, electoral roll में जो भी included है, they will be the part of Gram Sabha. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is correct, that the Sarpanch need quorum. Remember, the quorum has to be there or 50%, whichever is more. Either quorum, that is 10%, or 50%, whichever is more, to have a meeting of Gram Sabha. So the answer is B. 10th, that is a very simple question. It is a past year question. CFL and LED. That CFL uses mercury vapor and phosphorus, while LED uses semiconductor. Okay, it is correct. Semiconductor. Second, the average lifespan of a CFL is longer than that of an LED. This is wrong. The average lifespan of LED is more than a CFL. So, you have इसमें इसका आंसर हुआ. Second will be wrong. Third statement, CFL is less energy efficient as compared to LED lamp. तो ये भी गलत हो गया. तो इसका आंसर C नहीं होना चाहिए. इसका आंसर होना चाहिए ठीक है. तो CFL is less energy efficient as compared to less energy. ठीक है हाँ ठीक है. Answer will be C, 1 and 3, less energy efficient. So answer will be 1 and 3. 1 and 3 are correct. Which of the following is not a member of Eurasian Economic Union? Answer is simple, India, because India is not part of Eurasia. India is not part of Eurasia, but it has been invited. India has been invited to become a free trade partner of Eurasian Economic Union. That is why we included this question. Who are the members of EAU? याद रखिएगा इसका है आंसर BARKK. ठीक है, बार्क. तो डबल के एकता कपूर का हिसाब से मान लो कि बार्क है एकता कपूर वाला. तो BARKK. बेलारूस, कजाकिस्तान, रसिया. ठीक है, बेलारूस, कजाकिस्तान, रसिया. And other two members are Armenia and Kyrgyzstan. Other two members are Armenia and Kyrgyzstan. These are the 5 members of EAU. What is virtual private network? It is a factual question. So it is a public network that provides user to access their organization network while maintaining the security of information transmitted. So answer to this is B. Then consider the following statement. Rajya Sabha can authorize the parliament to create all India services common to both the center and states. Yes, this is correct. Rajya Sabha can authorize Parliament to make a law on subject enumerated in the state list under Article 249. This is also correct. Both the statements are correct. Okay, both the statements are correct. So, and rest of the questions we have already discussed. If you have any doubt, you ask your doubts. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining. Yes, Ayushman Bharat. Akash, tell me what's the doubt? Wait, Akash, if you want, if you have a lengthy doubt, I'll unmute you. Let me know if you want me to unmute you. Just let me know. Okay, just a second. Baki, those who do not have any doubt, they can go and have their dinner or continue with their daily errands. Thank you very much for joining. We are just taking doubts now. Gosh. Yes, Akash.
Sir, I read somewhere that Ayushman Bharat is for secondary and tertiary healthcare.
That is for Jan Arogya Abhiyan. See, Ayushman Bharat के अंदर दो अभियान है. प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना, that is for secondary, tertiary, and health and wellness scheme is for primary. हाँ.
Okay, thank you sir.
ठीक है, वो कंफ्यूजन मत करिएगा. वो हमने पढ़ाया था ना, वो पीडी उसमें डाला हुआ है दैट आयुष्मान भारत, उसके अंदर दो स्कीम है, हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर फॉर प्राइमरी एंड प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना फॉर सेकेंडरी एंड टर्शियरी. ठीक है. I hope you all had good experience with our mock test. We are trying very hard to give you a feeling of an exam. क्योंकि हम चाहते तो we could have uploaded the PDF itself, that the way we are doing. लेकिन we want you to have that feeling that for 2 hours you are sitting and writing an exam. ठीक है. चलिए, we are not having any other doubt. Thank you very much for joining, and do not get demotivated if you are getting less marks, because it is not a competition, it is a learning. Mock tests are for learning. Okay. Vishal sir, if you have anything to say, otherwise I'll conclude the lecture.
No, we can conclude the lecture. My only point is that we are going to conduct another test the coming Sunday. Make sure you register for that ahead of time and take the other exam also. हम उससे भी इसी तरह से इसी गस्टों के साथ डिस्कस भी करेंगे और कंडक्ट भी करवाएंगे. ठीक है. चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड हैव अ गुड नाइट. कल आपकी आर्ट एंड कल्चर की क्लास होगी, सो विल सी यू फॉर दैट.
Okay. Chaliye, thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.